One of the most important skills that being on the PTA has taught me, it's just public speaking regularly, because now you're trying to get funding for whatever program or whatever it is you're trying to bring. The
Right.
whole goal is to bring in programs into the schools that are beneficial to the students and to educate families.
Yeah.
Because I think we look at leadership as this perfect thing where we have to
Mhm.
have everything in the role. Of course, there's certain qualities, but perfectionism is not it. The hardest thing for me to do is ask people for help. I want people to make their mistakes,
I like
because I feel like that's the only way that we're gonna learn anything.
Hi, and welcome back to another episode and another season of the Woman Witness podcast on the Woman Witness TV network. I'm your host, Lia Fortier. As you know, here on this platform, we bring to you voices of dynamic women that are out there making a positive impact in their lives, in their family, and the community around them. Women of faith, women of resilience, women who have battled through something, and they are bold enough, strong enough to turn around, grab the hand of another sister, and be a witness. Today, guys, we are so honored to welcome back a special guest, Miss Susan St. Joy. She is an educator, an author, and a community leader who has spent over 15 years serving others through education. From the classroom to the community leadership as a PTA president, and through her latest book, Beyond the Bake Sale. Susan's journey is a reflective of service, resilience, and faith in action. Today, we're going to be talking about how we can come together as educators, as parents, and as community members to create a meaningful change and a good experience for our children overall. So, I want you all to lean in and I want you to welcome back my special guest, Miss Susan St. Joy. Hey, Susan, welcome back to the well. How are you today?
Hi, Leah. I am happy to be back. I
Man,
am excited to be here again to speak with you. I'm doing well.
Susan, I'm so excited to have you back. I can't wait to jump into your story, figure out what you have been doing. Last time we talked, you had a 2 and a 6-year-old, right? So that you got to catch us up on that. And then
Now
you're
you're
in your
4.
now the what?
8 and 4 now.
8 and 4, that is crazy, and you were in your doctoral program. So,
Mhm.
okay, so let me just stop talking, catch us up. What has been happening in your life since we last spoke?
So now I am in the final stages of my doctoral program. So I'm still in the program,
Yes, ma'am.
but I am in my final semester of coursework. And so
Mm.
after this will be dissertation.
Oh,
So yeah, 2 years has made a huge difference. I am now a published author.
mm,
Yeah, I'm excited about.
girl,
I'm also a professor
let's
now.
go. We talked about that too, we sure did.
Yes, and
Wow.
I am also running for library board of trustees, so I am currently in pre-election stages right now too.
Okay, we were talking about, going into politics, and we were talking about last time how scary it
Mhm.
was, how people don't like that word, but we talked about change and how you've seen the need to get in there and be that change.
Yeah.
Susan, look what God has done for you in just 2 years. Now I wanna talk about how you got there, okay? How you
Well,
became this published author, and I mean, all of it. So I want everyone to lean in. I do want you guys to go back. If you wanted to go back and check out Susan's first interview, please do that. In our season 1, Susan's interview was our 16th interview. So she's been rolling with Woman Witness, Stories at the Wells when we first started, okay? Flash forward 250 episodes later, here we are. So God is good, okay? Brings everything back full circle. Okay, Susan, let me stop talking. I want you to let everyone know who you are, where you're from, and just kind of fill them in a little bit on who Susan is.
So I am from, well, my parents are from Jamaica,
Okay.
and I was born in Brooklyn, and I now reside in Long Island,
Yes.
specifically the Elmont community. I'm in the Elmont community currently.
Hmm.
And I'm a wife and I have two boys
Hmm.
who are now 4 and 8 years old. And how I started writing my book
Yeah.
was I was nearing the end of my PTA president term.
Hmm.
And someone had said to me, a lot of parents don't really know about like the things that go into a PTA. They think it's just about bake sales.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? I'm just going to write this book because I feel like it's been long overdue. People have been asking me to write books and it's time. If I don't do it now, I don't know when I'm going to do it. Right.
Right. Right.
And I also wanted to write it while I was still in my position so
Hmm.
that we're fresh, so that the examples that I'm using in the book were happening in real time.
Yeah.
So, as you're reading it, all those examples were happening as I was writing it.
Wow.
So, I had fun writing the book.
Hmm.
Um, I felt like now I'm allowing now PTA board members to feel heard, specifically the presidents.
Yeah.
And as a result, the presidents that have purchased my book, they're like, "Oh my gosh, woo,
Yeah.
finally,
Yeah.
someone understands us."
Yes.
So a lot of
Yes.
people feel seen after reading the book. They're like, "Oh my gosh, yes." They can
Yeah.
relate and things like that. And so I've had such like fun meeting people through this book.
That's
Because of that,
amazing.
I've attended the New York State PTA events as like a vendor. I was able to meet other PTA presidents who supported
Yeah.
the book. They bought the book for themselves and for other PTA leaders too, as well. And so just connecting with people and speaking to people because
Yeah.
of the book, it's been amazing. The book is also
Mhm.
being advertised on the New York State PTA website as well, so people can
Let's
find it there.
go. Yes.
Also on my website too, I have a website for the book as well. And so I just felt like a weight was finally lifted off my
Lift it.
shoulders. I finally wrote a book.
Yeah.
The check off list now. It's finally done, but I call it's like my baby. It's my first book and
Yeah. I
it
I love that. Let me ask you, Susan, because writing it, you said you wrote it because it's lived experience. You were
Mhm,
currently living it. So it's not like
mhm.
something you studied, right? So
No,
let me ask you, what message did you hope to get across that people just weren't hearing enough?
that PTA leadership is real leadership.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
I don't think
Mm.
PTA presidents are looked at as real leaders. It's not
Interesting.
until you're actually in the role where you realize, "Holy crap, this is it."
This
Like,
is a lot
this
of
is
work.
yeah, a lot of work, and you're like the middleman between the parents and the school leaders and,
Mhm.
the community leaders, and they go
Mhm.
to you as the PTA president when they wanna rally certain parents or rally
Mhm.
certain events and things like that. And so, I wanted people to read the book and understand, like, this is real leadership.
Yeah.
You are actually learning and practicing real leadership skills.
Yeah.
You're handling real money.
Yes.
It's very real, and
Yeah.
I think that was one of the reasons why people felt heard and seen. And also too, I part of the book, I do talk about the emotional aspect and how there's certain instances that made me have to kinda step away from my insecurities a little bit to kinda
Mm.
get certain things done. So
Mhm.
whatever insecurities you may have, being on the PTA may bring it up. Like,
Mhm.
no one else will know but you. But you
Mhm.
now have to kind of like step out of your way and do what
Give
needs
us
to
some
be.
examples of those, Susan.
So the hardest thing for me to do is ask people for help. Always.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Always.
Uh-huh.
I will try to get it done myself.
Yep.
And
Yep.
being on the board,
Why do we do that? I'm sorry, I just wanna ask. Is it just because you don't wanna hear people say no? Or like what?
fear of rejection is one of
Yes.
them.
Yeah.
And also to the perfectionism aspect of it
Control
too.
it all.
You feel like it won't get done a certain way if you don't do it.
Yep.
And also to the fear of burdening other people. Like a lot of times for me, the moms on the board, all of them were pretty active,
Mhm.
pretty
Mhm.
active in other areas. And there were times where I felt like I don't want to burden them with this. I
Mm.
know they have a lot going on. And
Mhm. Fair.
so,
Yeah.
meanwhile, I'm supposed to be leaning on and we're
On
supposed to be leaning on each other. And
Yeah.
so that part of me was very hard to deal with, but I had no other choice. I had to ask for help. I
Yeah.
had to lean on them. I had to. So those were like those personal issues that I've always had with myself that now the
Yeah.
PTA started to expose. You know,
Mm.
and there's times where people will take it personal if you don't ask them for help.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of times it has nothing to do with them. It's a battle, it's an internal battle that I've
Okay.
always had. And so being on the PTA, I had to learn how to pass through
Overcome.
that and ask for help. And
I
so
like that.
I've gotten a little better at it. I can still improve on it though.
I
It,
like that. You talk about this in your book too, right?
I
Which
do.
I think it's
I address
so
it.
good. I feel
Yeah.
like you can take that. It doesn't matter if you're on the PTA, if you're a classroom mom, doesn't matter if you're a team mom helping with sports. I can relate to that as well. So I love that. I definitely can't wait to
Yeah.
dive into that.
And I talk a little bit about the juggling aspect with being a doctoral student and having
Yeah.
kids, and, I
Yeah.
talk a little bit about that in the book too, and how stepping into the PTA felt like a full-time job in itself,
Yo, I bet.
a role we kind of underestimate, and so the that's what made the book, like, such a relief for a lot of people. Like, I had people come up to me and like, "Oh my gosh,
Thank you for
everything you
humanizing
said in
this.
that book, I can relate."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm, thank you
so
for humanizing it. Let me
I
ask
wa
you, if someone was to read your book, what do you hope that they walk away with?
that throughout their imperfection, they can still step into their leadership roles, whatever
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
Because I think we look at leadership as this perfect thing where we have to
Mhm.
have everything in the row and
Yeah,
everything has to be a certain way, and
yeah,
no.
yeah,
You know, of course, there's certain qualities, but perfectionism is not it.
yeah, yeah.
We have a lot of imperfect leaders.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? And some people are learning on the job, right? And I feel like that's okay, right? I mean, if we're not going to get to where we're going if we don't try. Let me ask you, for some people who look at the PTA and we're looking at these leadership roles, and it is scary, right? I am juggling a lot. I am going to school. I might be working. I might have a lot of kids, but I want to help serve. So, what does that role look like? What does it look like for a real parent engagement to go beyond the usual meetings and events? What does that look like?
When you go to the meetings and you speak to the parents, you
Mhm.
have to listen to what the needs are. And when you're speaking to multiple people at different times, there's always going to be like that one common thing with all the people you speak to. That's
Yeah,
usually where
the need
you
is.
can fit in and where they need that help. Because if you speak to 4 or 5 people over the span of 3 days and they all say different things, but they always say that one common thing, it's usually that one common thing that you could probably find a way to help.
Yeah, that's
Sometimes
good.
just coming out and saying, "What can I help you with?"
Yeah,
And
that's
start
good.
from there. Like, it's like a slow start. And then
Mhm.
it's like you're building the plane while flying. Now
Mhm.
you're starting to, like, put the pieces together as you're just going along, and especially if you haven't had any like prior leadership experience, I think
Mhm.
the PTA is a great place to start on that journey, and you still have time to figure out if leadership is for you or not. And
Right, right.
it's like a smaller scale way of finding out if this is for you or if this is for not.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
either stay on the PTA or never do any type of
Never
lead,
do it again.
or you could take it further and just continue on to that path. And so
Yeah.
I for me, I'm on the way of taking it further and continuing on to the path. But
That's
it's
awesome.
definitely an eye opener, and I've learned so much, and you're
Yeah.
learning everything fast.
Yeah.
Like,
What do you wish you would have known before you jumped into it?
I wish I had learned more about the neighborhood before I stepped into the role.
Interesting. Why do you
But
say that?
I wish I did more research on, like, their political views,
Mm.
because I think in certain aspects, I'm just going with emotions without thinking politics per se.
Yeah.
And I think for the community, they were all about politics, and it's like,
Mm,
that for
mm.
me was, like, kinda like a stump, like, "Oh,
Oh,
okay."
we're dealing with something else.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm, mhm,
so things that I looked at, like, innocently,
mhm.
they looked at it as, "No, we can't have those people here." I'm like, "Oh,
Interesting,
okay."
interesting. Yeah,
So it's like kinda like stepping on people's toes without that even being your intention. Your goal is just long term, because a lot of times in this role, you're thinking way ahead,
yeah,
but they're looking at, why did you invite these people here? And I'm like, but they are the leaders of the community. They
yeah,
should be here.
right.
So I think if
Mm,
I had did
interest
more research on that, I probably would have did some things differently.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
here's the thing, I'm actually kind of glad that I didn't do too much research, because I think if I did too much research, then
You woulda overthought it.
I probably wouldn't have even taken on the role. I'll probably say, "You know what? Forget it. This is
Yeah,
not I don't think I
yeah,
wanna be bothered with it."
yeah,
So, I'm kinda glad I just went blindly.
yeah. What would you recommend to some moms who are listening right now, and they are overthinking it? Their team has asked for a team parent a million times, or the board is screaming for
Um,
help. What would you say to them?
just do it. I wouldn't overthink it. I would just
Yeah.
do it, because what happened is overthinking causes you to have more discouragement,
Mhm.
and the longer we take before we jump into the water, we almost never jump in. We start to, like, back away, and
Yeah.
so I would say look at it as your child will never forget that you were on that PTA.
No, they
They
won't.
they look at that
That's
as
true.
mom's in a leadership role, and they remember that, like, that's, like, embedded. So and
People
that's
know
kinda
that that's their mommy.
yeah, yeah,
It's true.
you
Yeah,
know?
that's
So,
awesome.
it definitely helps to have your kids see you in those type of positions, because they know you as mommy at home,
Mhm.
but then now they see you as mommy in a different light, and my 8-year-old, he cherishes that. He loves
Mhm.
that. Yeah, he likes to see it. So I know kids they have a sense of pride, you know?
Yeah. Like, "That's my
I
mama."
I can do
Yeah.
it. My mommy did something like that, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I think it also, and this is no shame and no shade on anyone. If you will do it when you are ready to do it, let's just say this, because the first time I tried even being a classroom mom, it was so overwhelming. I mean, I worked at banks. I've, had multiple banks. I had over, 50, 60 employees at a time. So, I mean, I can do that, but this classroom thing is something else. I got up in there. I was like, not
Yeah.
for me. And that is okay. I went in once and I didn't go back in. I tried the team
At
mom
least you
thing.
tried it. At
I
least you tried
tried
it.
it. I realized that, boy, people ain't got nothing else better to do but just tell you what to do, and they're not even doing it. Okay, I went off. Anyways,
No.
but I tried something else. I tried the teen mom aspect and I tried, different things with my kids' sport, and that worked for me. So I'll just say this is some of the moms who, you didn't have you were able to step away from the corporate world and now you're, raising your kids at home. It is
Mhm.
a life-changing situation, I will say that, but you can, whenever you're ready, get back out there and still put some of those skills to use.
Yeah.
So, as Susan said, don't be afraid, just jump in. Find out what's for you and what's not for you. Put your toe in.
'Cause my thing is if you've thought about it, you probably wanna do it. So just do it,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah, just
Um,
jump back in. I love
another
it.
one of the most important skills that being on the PTA has taught me,
Mhm.
this one, it's just public speaking regularly. Like, the PTA you're on.
You're
Like,
on.
you're not off, you
Yeah,
are on.
yeah,
So,
that's true.
talking to parents, talking to business owners, because now you're trying to get funding for whatever program or whatever it is you're trying to bring.
Right.
You have to speak to
Yeah.
people you don't know.
Yep.
You have to walk into places of businesses and do your pitch.
Yeah.
"Hey, I'm PTA president of so and so, and we're trying to have this event, and we would love some sponsorship," or
Mhm. Mhm.
that was I had to learn that.
Quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
A
Yes. I love it. I
and
love
then
it.
the more I did it, the more I started to get a little comfortable doing it, but the
Making it your
first
own.
initial times, it was nerve-wracking. It was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm about to go speak to these people about what?" But you have to do it because 'cause they're waiting on you, and you
Yep.
don't want them to start complaining?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
So, that was another thing that I had to learn quickly,
Yeah. Yeah. Let
you
me
know?
ask you, you work with a lot of families, educators, and even policymakers. So how
Mhm.
do you feel that these worlds connect in real life?
The thing with the PTA is we have the New York State PTA and we have the national PTA.
Mhm.
And how the PTA began was from making laws, the
Yeah.
history of the PTA.
Okay.
And
Mhm.
so my goal was to govern the PTA in that matter of how it was founded, because
Mhm.
the reason why our children have free lunch is because back in 1805, the national PTA went and
Mm.
advocated for that,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
The reason why our children are in school and not working in factories as a child is
Mhm.
because the national PTA in 18 whenever went and advocated in Congress for that. And
Mm.
so the more it was so important for me to educate these parents, like, this is what created the PTA. The PTA is not separate from lawmaking. It's actually a
It
part of
is
it.
love, like, right? Mm,
When
mhm.
when laws are being made, there is a, New York State director that goes to, Congress and Capitol Hill. They have Capitol Hill events where representatives from each state from the PTA, they go and they advocate
Mhm.
for law. And it's an ongoing thing. They do it
Mhm.
every March and every I forgot the months that they do it, but it's an annual thing and it's been happening for over 100 years now.
Wow.
So, the more I learned and educated
Mhm.
myself about how and why the PTA exists, the better I was able to, navigate and move accordingly. Because I had to educate myself on what.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, "Wow, so it's not even about bake sales."
No. I can make a difference. And that
But
thing that we're always
bake
advocating
I mean,
about.
you need the bake sales to raise the funds to push through the financial aspect because the PTA needs money to run.
Mhm.
But that's not the end all be all, that's just one portion. The
Right.
whole goal is to bring in programs into the schools that are beneficial to the students and to educate families. Because part of the PTA is a program called family engagement, and that's a whole nother section of the PTA. So I
Mm.
had to educate myself on all these things, and it was like an eye opener for me. I'm like, wow, so I didn't realize the PTA was all of this. I
It
had
was
no
all of
idea.
that. Yeah.
This this is a serious thing. And
Yeah.
so before I started writing my book, I'm like, this is actually real leadership.
Mhm.
Members go to Congress every year to go advocate for programs.
Mm. Mm.
And
Mhm.
so last year, well, my last year on the
Mm.
PTA board, we had a Zoom meeting with our elected officials from Congress. And these were
Mm.
all PTA leaders like myself from all over the country. And we were on
Amazing.
the Zoom meeting advocating. And the whole time I was blown away. I'm like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So,
You're sitting at the table where you can make a change.
yeah. And so when I went back into history and I found out all the things that our kids are
Mm.
benefiting from today in the schools is because the PTA advocated for those things. The PTA is the reason why our kids aren't working in factories.
Mm.
The
Wow.
child labor laws, they fought against
Come on.
they're the ones
Yeah.
that got that to pass. The PTA did. And
Yeah.
so I was like, wow, I had no idea.
Yeah.
And so I started to write my book, you
And
know.
so do you then, Susan, now that you've educated yourself, do you then educate the rest of your PTA? Do you invite your parents out just for like an informal education on what the PTA actually is? Because I agree with you. I think we have it all wrong.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my son's school that he's in now
Mhm.
invited me to come and speak to the parents. They had like an assembly for Founders Day, which is every year in February. That's when the PTA was actually founded.
Mm.
And on behalf of Founders Day, they asked me to come in and be a speaker to talk about the history of the PTA. And that's what I did. I did that back in February.
Yeah.
Now, I wanna do more of that
Yeah.
because I feel like this is, like, so important. I did try to reach out to some other local schools, I didn't get a response back,
Hmm.
um, but I am gonna try to push that a little bit more because I think it's something important for parents to know.
It is.
The
Yeah.
same eye-opening that I got, I wanna give that too, like, yeah,
Yeah.
this is what it is, you know? And so I would love to do more of that.
Teach the kids too. They'll go home and tell their parents.
Yeah,
They'll
yeah.
go home and tell their parents.
Daddy,
Right.
did you know? Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Like, okay, now I'm listening, right?
Yep.
Let me ask you, where do you think the community sometimes get it wrong when they're trying to support students?
Where the communities get it wrong when they're trying to not listening to the students.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like,
Yeah.
although the intention is good, like, I
Mhm.
get the intention, having a student to represent the students
Yeah.
would be a great idea. There are I know some high school PTAs, they call them PTSAs, Parent Teacher Student Association.
Mhm.
There usually is, a student that's on the board.
Mm.
That's not always the case, but I think if we push more of that, like having a student representative in
Mhm.
almost all across the board, even with curriculum planning and things like that,
Mhm.
have a student representative there, you
Yeah.
know? Have them also have some input into
Yeah.
it. Because 1, that keeps the student body accountable, and 2, it also, because I think sometimes as an adult, we forget how it is to be a child.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so having that refresher of that student with you, letting you know what's currently happening and what they would like to see, I think that would help a lot. Instead of a
Mhm.
bunch of adults making all these decisions for kids that are not even in the room.
Listen, okay, hold on. I know we're not okay, no, I'm not gonna go there. But you you are preaching right now, okay? And this is why I think it's so important. It doesn't matter who we doesn't matter. Let's just say not even on the PTA level, even if we have concerns with ourselves, with our gender, with our race, whatever it is that we have with our religion, if you
Mhm.
have a strong opinion about something, you need to be there to represent it, or you need to make sure that someone is in the office to represent you. Look,
Yeah.
you just said it right there, because there are situations where there are a lot of lawmakers in one room making laws about things that they have no idea about. But this is not what we're talking about. I want to ask you something. What does inclusive classrooms look like to you?
I would say I am a fan of collaborative teaching.
Yeah.
And that's where you have maybe like a special ed teacher with a regular ed teacher collaborating to come up with one lesson plan. The reason why I feel like that works is because that special ed teacher is thinking about a more diverse learning body. You have your auditory learners, you have your visual learners, you have your wheelchair learners, and that regular ed teacher is for the most part thinking one way. But I
Yeah.
think it but I think meshing the 2 and
It's a good
planning
idea.
out the lessons, I
Yeah.
think is a good foundation moving forward
Oh,
to
that's a
a
great
more
idea.
diverse learning, aspect.
Oh, wow. I don't think I've ever heard of that, which is leading right to my next question as far as why do you feel that it is important to center students with diverse learning needs?
Teaching should definitely be a student-centered
Hmm.
because gone are the days of just the teacher doing all the talking and the students are just sitting there. The
Hmm.
problem with doing that today is because
Hmm.
now as a teacher, you're competing with their phones, you're competing with their watches, you are competing with their computers, their iPads. You're competing with all of this. If the
Hmm.
student isn't centered in that lesson, you lost them.
Interesting.
They're gonna
Yeah.
find something else to pass the time. Because the one thing that they don't wanna do is sit there and hear you yap for 45 minutes to an hour. So, having them spearhead, of course, you as the teacher is guiding it, you're
Yeah.
guiding it. But having them spearhead and even come up with the questions and getting them submerged and involved in the lesson, they totally forgot about their phone or their
Yeah.
iPod or their whatever it is now, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
it
That's
helps,
good.
but another thing that helps is doing more, collaborative work with the students, group activities,
That's good.
partnership.
Mhm.
I think what's missing is schools have become very individualistic in the classroom,
Mhm.
and I get the point of individual assessments and things like that, but students have to learn that even when you get to college and even in real life and at work, you have to lean on people. You have to help each other out. You
Right.
have to talk to other people, see what their strength is. Their strength may be a weakness for you and vice versa. But the only way you're going to know is if you actually speak and work together. So even
Right.
for me in my undergrad classes, I try to incorporate once a week some group activity at least,
Mhm.
even for 15, 20 minutes, speak to each other. You students learn from their peers just as much, if not more, than they learn from us.
Yeah. I agree. I could not agree more. And I love where you're going with this. I do believe that because our kids nowadays, they do a lot on their own. I mean, they are in their computers or in their iPads. Their mind is consistently roaming and going a million miles per hour. So when they do get a teacher that is like talking at them, they're not even processing it. I just think that their minds work a lot faster. So I love the idea of getting them immersed into the actual lesson. I love that, and I think they
Mhm.
should do more of that. Let me ask you, what is one change that you believe that could really make a difference in education now?
I don't know how this would look process wise,
Hmm.
but I know in education, just like in other leadership roles, there are people there that's been there for a super long time,
Mm.
right? super
Mm,
long time.
mhm,
However, I know that there's times where people complain and say, "Where are the young people? We don't have enough young people who are interested," and things like that.
mhm,
The
mhm,
problem is a lot of those young people know that the people that's been sitting in those seats do not wanna move.
mhm,
So, the young people are going to college, they're getting their degrees, they're doing what they need to do. Now they have to compete with the older people for those positions.
mhm,
And some of the older people don't want to get up off of those positions. And then because of that, you have a more discouraging body of young people who are like, we don't identify with this. I feel like young people are more interested in things that look like
yeah,
so I'm not saying that every person in a school that's been there for 20, 30 years are no good at their job. I'm just saying
mhm, mhm,
sometimes I think people need to know when to just be a mentor and
mm,
give other people space to come in.
mm,
I don't know if that's an ego struggle
mm,
because it almost irritates me whenever I hear people saying, "I don't see enough young people. I don't see young people doing this." And I'm like, "But you guys don't wanna give up your roles. You're not even
mm,
making room for the young people. This is not encouraging to them."
mm. Come on,
And
Susan.
I say it because, I know a lot of people govern with their egos. They
Mm,
feel like they've been sitting in this seat for such a long time, they do not wanna let it go.
mhm,
And a lot I don't know about you, Leah, but a lot of my
mm.
favorite leaders going back in time were very young when they were leading,
Yeah, they were young, charismatic. Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? And a lot of times they say, "Oh, these people don't have enough experience." I'm like, "But some of the best leaders going back in time, if you look at how old they were young." And so I
Damn, you're
yeah,
right.
the
Hold on,
leadership
let me
has to change. It's time.
yeah, let me dig in a little bit right there. I'm sorry, I'm kind of dig in on that because I agree a lot with you. And I it also leads me to believe that this is why the young people are coming up with so many different things. This is why the young people they don't have to leave their house and they can still be an influence. They can come up with their different ways to reach people, and I think that's their creativity in them because they are not given that platform to make those decisions and make those moves. And I think that is so creative. Here's what I try to do in situations like that. And maybe this can be some encouragement to somebody, you know, get in where you can fit in. I don't have to have your seat. You can sit there all day long. If I can get in a seat at the table, I can make a difference. And here's the beautiful part about it. And I kind of feel like this ties into woman witness. I'm going to leave the door open for somebody else. I'm going to figure out a position to get you in so we can hear your voice. And
Mhm.
if I could just say this, I feel you, Susan. I've been in those rooms, and you just want to be like, "Are we still doing that? Why are we still?" I am of a good age, honey, a good golden age. I mean, I'm not over the hill, but I there, and I wouldn't even do that. Like I cannot even imagine any of these younger people wanting to do it. But I love where you're going with it. I think it's so great. I hear part two booking you. I'm serious. Move over or something like that, or make room at the table with I mean, come on, I'm going off, but I'm serious. You are
Yeah.
right about that, Susan.
And and I see that not just in schools, just in society, period. It's
100%.
it's an ongoing thing where
100%.
when you start to dig deep to see how long people have been in certain roles, you're like, "Wow." And
It's in
no
churches, it's in corporations, it's in families. Like, I mean,
in government.
it's in governments. Come on, that's a big one.
Mhm.
People don't wanna move, people don't wanna make room, but you have to make room for the younger voices to reach the younger generation because what's happening is the younger generation are doing their own thing. and we're missing them. They
Yes.
still need some of that good old homeschool lived
Yeah.
experience, that
Yes.
mentorship. We still
Yes.
need that, but they
Yes.
also have to be heard. Their ideas are sometimes I hear these young kids, I'm like, "Now where did you come up with that?" Like, where
They don't feel like
it's
they're being
amazing.
heard. They
Yeah.
don't feel like we make space for them to even be heard.
Yeah. I mean, can I just bring it down to even my family? Like my 13-year-old comes to me, he's just like, do 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 do. And I'm like, oh, well, that's amazing. Like, why didn't you just tell me? He's like, because you didn't ask or you didn't let me speak. And I'm like, oop,
Yeah. Yeah.
my bad. You
Yeah.
know? Okay, you didn't set me off right there, Susan. Can you tell I've been thinking about that? But I love it. And I think
Mhm,
they would definitely make a change. Okay. Let me ask you, can you share a moment
mhm,
where can you share a moment where you were leading something and you felt as if that you could make that change, but you didn't have the room to make it? And if so, how did you do it? How did you handle it?
I would say not necessarily leading something, but I've been a part of things where I felt like if I was actually leading this, we would have had a different outcome. We would have
Mm,
had a slightly better outcome.
mm.
Whenever those thoughts come across my mind though, I don't usually say it out loud,
Yeah,
but I move accordingly in the sense of if I create something similar like this, I'm definitely going to do it this way or that way or
got it.
yeah, I've been in situations where I felt like it could have been a lot better if we had just did it the way I thought it could
Hmm.
have been done. But part of me too, I'm also one of those people. I want people to make their mistakes
I love
because I feel like that's the only way that we're gonna learn anything, you know?
it. Hmm.
And
Hmm.
a lot of times the people who are leading, they don't want to hear anyone else.
Mm-mm.
They're not trying to hear anyone else. So,
Hmm.
most of the times I just won't say anything. I'll just
Their mind is made up. Yeah,
their mind is made up, so there's nothing you could do. There's
yeah,
nothing you could but just hope that when it's my turn, I can do it differently.
right. In the meantime, I'm going to be supportive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll
Hmm.
be supportive, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, "Okay,
What are we doing?
what
Let
are
me
we doing? This is like a train wreck, but okay."
right, right. Now, Susan, before I get out of here and I get away from too much time, you
Mhm,
wanted to go into politics in our last conversation.
mhm,
And this was something that you thought that this is what you wanted to do. Tell us where you're at
mhm.
in that space.
I just left an event with, Senator Chuck Schumer,
Oh, okay. Oh.
literally just this morning.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Um,
Wow.
because by the time this airs, then it'll be out in the open. It was,
Okay.
on Channel 7 Eyewitness News. I actually briefly saw myself on the news just now, standing next to, Senator Schumer as he unveiled a new law about, the high grocery prices. And
Yeah.
so I was asked to, speak on the panel with him from my personal experience with the high grocery prices.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah. So, in addition to that, I am running for library board of trustee,
Okay. Come on,
and
Susan.
this is a new experience for me, of course. But luckily, I have some experience from the PTA, and I'm excited. I'm literally in campaign mode right now.
Oh
So,
my
yeah.
gosh.
And I'm this is not an easy feat. This is
Uh-huh.
not an feat because in this situation, I am the underdog.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So
It's
this
just
this
it's you and one other person and
yeah,
or one
this
other
is
candidate?
yeah, so I do have a running mate because
Okay.
2 seats are up on the
Okay.
library board,
Mhm.
and they've been there for a long time.
Okay. Okay.
So this is a uphill
Okay.
it's an uphill climb, and
Yeah.
there's already words being tossed about
Yeah.
my lack of experience and
Oh, got it. So this is politics. This is the stuff that we were talking about before. This is
Mhm,
the ugly part.
it is, it is.
Oh.
It is, but
Yeah.
it's for me, this is, like, so exciting.
Is it
One,
really? Are you I was gonna ask, are you regretting it?
okay, so I'm gonna tell you, the exciting part is me going through the motions. Like for me, I love the process, this whole
Mhm.
process. One, because I've had this process planned out for a
Yeah.
while.
Uh-huh.
So now I'm just checking off
Yeah.
the list of all the things I've done. So I've canvassed for signatures, check. I speak to people every day in the community, check. So for
Yeah.
me, it's like those little flagpoles that I created for myself.
Yeah.
And it's like for me, it's a win.
Uh-huh.
My name is getting put out there, of course, now by Chuck Schumer, who mentioned my name,
Oh,
and it's
wow.
happening. So for me, I'm so excited, and of course, I have tons of ideas.
Yeah.
But the not necessarily exciting part of the process is trying to defend myself
Mm.
because it's like
Mm.
whatever is being said, it's like you guys don't even know me.
Right.
All the things that I've done has been in the last 3 years.
Right.
I don't have no political background, no political affiliation,
Mhm.
I don't come from a family that's been volunteering and
Right.
none of that stuff.
Right.
This is all me, and in the last 3 years, me being on the PTA, we've got honored with the, National PTA School of Excellence. We've I got the Woman of Distinction Award 2 years ago. I also got a citation from the local legislator with my book. Within the last 3 years, I've accomplished a lot,
Yeah.
both on the PTA and off the PTA.
Yeah.
And so I
Yeah.
see why I am a threat to someone who's been there for a while, who also have their own accolades.
Mhm.
Respectfully, they've been
Mhm.
there for a long time, so I would assume,
Right.
right? But for me being the underdog with coming with my own accolades in a very short period of time,
Strong ones too. Right.
and the fact that I'm a threat, I actually feel good. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh."
I'm doing my job.
I didn't it's like even if I had a part of low self-esteem, every time they go on attack mode, I'm like, "Oh,
You're
so
scared.
you"
Ah,
right. It's like, "Okay,
right.
that actually boosts my confidence a
Right.
bit,"
Right.
And so
I
it
love it. Okay. You better handle it. Come on. Can I just say this
so
about the attacks?
yeah,
They said in 1 week changed everything for Jesus. They were just praising him, singing Hosanna, Hosanna, right? And then within that whole week, they were crucifying him. So I
mhm.
just say this, and Jesus didn't have to fight his own battles, and nor should you. I mean, they are coming at you in each and every way, and a second later, Chuck Schumer is calling your name out. I'm just saying. You don't even gotta fight. You don't even have to fight. You just gotta show up.
Just show up.
If you don't let them work, I'm in awe right now with you, Susan. And you followed through. You said that this is what you wanted to do, and look at you doing it. And
Yeah,
as you said, there are, we talk it's so interesting to lead up to this because this is what we were talking about. People want to see change. And
yeah.
and if you are ready to be that change, you will be in that seat. So I wish you nothing but the best of luck. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Leah.
I'm really proud of you. Okay, before I let you out of here, I just want you to talk to some of the women. I want you to leave us with something for some of the women who are listening. Listening to you right now. They're getting pumped up. They're in their doctoral program. They're ready to make their own moves. What would you say to them right now?
Don't stop. Just keep going. Just do it, Nike.
Yeah.
Just do it. Just rip the Band-Aid off. Just do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do it.
Make a plan. Can I just add to that? Make a plan. Susan had a plan 2 years ago.
Yes, I did. I
Yes, you
always
did.
have a plan.
Yes, you
Always.
did.
Yes.
And look at
Make a
the
plan.
execution of it and the follow through.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Y'all better go catch. I'm gonna link her first episode on here, and I love for you guys to watch the two. Watch them in any order that you want, but that making a plan and following it through will get you to where you want to be. Man,
Yeah.
that's motivation for me right there. Um Okay, okay, Susan, I looked up and I love when I look up and we are running out and we ran out of time. I know that what
Mhm.
was meant to be said, the information, the conversation was great. It was fulfilling, but I want you to tell us one, where to find your book, where can we follow you, or, and even if we're in the area, where can we vote, honey? Okay.
Ooh, if you are in the Elmont area, please vote at any of the public schools on May 19th.
Mm,
My book, you can find my book at susanstjoy.com. Go to
mm,
susanstjoy.com. You'll find the Amazon, the Barnes and Nobles. You'll find it all there. And also, you can follow me on Susan underscore St. Joy on
mm.
Instagram. I'm Susan St. Joy, also on Facebook. You type in Susan St. Joy, you will find me anywhere. So, yes.
Amazing. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can pull this clip and try to get it out to you because I would love for you to, be able to boost that if someone is in the area and they can vote for you
Yes.
who's in the woman witness community because I really would love that for you. Susan, this was great. This conversation was amazing. I cannot wait to get my hands on your book, to get into it. Again, like I said, I believe that this book can help you. Doesn't matter if you're joining the PTA, your teen mom, with your sports, anything, just getting out there. Susan talked about a lot of different things today, from overcoming your own fears to jumping out there, just kind of navigating those waters. I think her book is going to be perfect for you. And then I want you guys to give us some feedback on it as well. Susan, before I let you go, I need you to leave us something here to hold on to at this well.
Just do it.
Done. Done. Done.
Thank you
Done.
so much, and I really do appreciate this.
I appreciated it as well. I loved our conversation. Loved having you back on, Susan. We have to get you back on after you get elected. I want to hear all
Oh, yes.
about it. All about it. Okay. All
Yes,
right.
yes.
This is amazing. Okay, guys, I'm going to take all of Susan's information. I'm going to leave it in the description below. Ladies, I want to thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Woman Witness podcast on the Woman Witness TV network. And perhaps you were chosen for such a time as this to write, to tell your story, your truth. Until next time.